Drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the personal injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studio. Car accidents, other injuries? Call pound 546 from your cell or visit whenyouneedus.com. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Wednesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks so much for dropping by. We appreciate that very much. We will pay you off with some fun, interesting radio for the next few hours. Get you home safely on this beautiful Wednesday. We got woke news. Get you caught up on what's happening out there. Animal House today. Scott Maxwell, trivia, Ross thoughts. Of course, we will get you last calls as well. Get you registered for that summer of stuff, courtesy of Code Black IT. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Oh, stop and yeah.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
And, of course, the comedy alien, Mr. Ross Padgett.
What's up, Jim?
407-916-1041. That is how you call us. You can text our show as well. That number is 77031. Social media, easy to find there. At The Jim Colbert Show on Twitter and Instagram. Or, excuse me, Instagram and Facebook. On Twitter, it's just at Jim Colbert Show. You can find us online at JimColbertLive.com. Take us wherever you go using the iHeartRadio app. And, of course, we are broadcasting live on Facebook like we do every day.
Every day.
How is everyone? Good?
Yeah.
We had some interesting news right before we came on the air. I guess about an hour ago or so, they dropped a bomb that Bill Cosby had been released from prison.
Yeah, well, his conviction overturned, and they've got a car on the way. They should be picking him up in the next few hours, and he's going to be talk about an Independence Day weekend.
Yeah, man. So initially sentenced to 10 years for sexual assault. They threw out the conviction. So now I don't even know that he is a registered sex offender. He has. No. I guess they expunged this from his record completely. I don't really know 100% how that goes, but he will be freed. You know, and the irony of this is, does this really set him up? Because how he was or why he was released is a really odd thing. It was, by the way, it was not a majority decision. It was a 4-3 decision. And the reason why is because I guess the attorney who got the, not a confession, but a statement from Cosby that initially they used to convict him, they got that based on an agreement they had made with the former prosecutor that he would not be charged if he divulged information that would lead to that. And, of course, that wasn't the case. They did charge him. And after they went back and reviewed it, I guess it was a 4-3 decision to overturn his conviction.
And this
which
is
would happen by the way, which would happen for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Yeah, overturned it.
4-3 overturned it. So Bill Cosby will walk. Now, he was looking at doing 10 years. Most people consider that a death sentence because of his age and health issues. But he will walk. And the beautiful irony is, I mean, just to be a dick, do you think he kind of lawyers up and sues them?
Oh, yeah.
For the 2.5 or 3 years that he did wind up spending in prison, since he wasn't even supposed to be there? Because now they're saying, because I guess if I read it right, because of these statements that he made, that none of the other 5 cases should have never even come up.
Well, what's interesting is I don't think double jeopardy would apply here. So prosecutors maybe, I guess,
could go back after
convening could go back after it potentially. I don't know, because it wouldn't be double jeopardy if the conviction has been overturned.
But the thing is, would they have the evidence based on them having to throw out the information they got based on this old agreement? By the way, there's no writing. This is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
There's no I don't believe there's any evidence in writing this agreement was ever made. So with no evidence, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court released a guy with no evidence because they said there was a deal beforehand that if I said these things, you would not use them against me.
I've never
heard of anything like that.
Like you said, every Joe Blow gets that kind of deal behind bars.
I mean, every guy, cool sweater collection, 400 milli.
My favorite part about all the news covering it is that they keep showing the car. They have like a helicopter over the car. and when it has the headline of Bill Cosby is to be released from prison after conviction overturned, and then you just see this car going like 70, 80 miles an hour, and it really looks like at quick glance like he Italian jobbed himself out of prison. Like it really looks like he broke out.
A texting service saying he's blind and old and feeble. Who cares? Well, how about this? The people who he drugged and then raped. Well,
yeah.
I mean, just because of that justice thing, for no other reason, who cares if he's blind and feeble?
Yeah, you know what else is blind?
Justice.
You know who else is blind? The Golden State Killer.
Right,
It didn't stop his ass from being put in prison.
Well, he'll get out. I guess we'll find out as this goes forward. What'll happen. Deb asked a great question. I don't know if they can try to re-prosecute this guy. Because without this information, I don't know if there's enough evidence to put him behind bars, because apparently that was one of the big things.
Well, someone just texted it and said the order says charges cannot be refiled.
So that's it for that.
Oh, man, you know who's super happy? Jell-O.
Yeah, well,
Jell-O got their guy back.
I don't know if that's the case.
That's like Subway saying they got their guy back.
I was gonna say, I don't know if Jared got out on a technicality that Subway would roll out the old red carpet. I don't think that happened.
I mean, two different crimes, but if I'm Jell-O, I'm like, hell yeah.
I think he just should do the OJ thing and just find somewhere to go stumble around and be
Look
not
for the real
noticed.
killer?
I don't know that he'll ever be reinvited back into that community. Do you? I mean, do you think he'll be reinvited back into the community, the comedy community, at the same level, at the same revere that he was held in before?
No, because like OJ, despite the court proceeding, they're perceived as guilty, which would be interesting because you asked if he would try and sue now for wrongful imprisonment or however, it led to that. I think you have to be careful because I don't know legally if he then exposes himself to some of the evidence that has now been ruled inadmissible. If that's on the table again, so
he still has money. I mean, you have to understand he still theoretically has plenty of cash. He could go still live his life. I mean, if he was smart, he would just understand that this is the break of a lifetime. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, it was a break of a lifetime. He doesn't have that much life left. But at least now, I guess he doesn't have to die in a prison. And if that's all you have left to look forward to, I guess that would be a good thing. And maybe some reclamation of his former self. Maybe
it could be an ego thing too, though.
Yeah.
Whereas he wants to now sue to kind of still keep up the idea that, like, hey, I'm innocent and I'm fighting this.
Felicia Rashad apparently sent out a tweet or made a statement that finally he was released.
Really?
He was unfairly jailed. And then, of course, everybody from the Me Too movement is losing their minds. I mean, going crazy. So, interesting. We'll see how it pans out, what happens with this once we kind of figure out exactly what the deal is beyond this mystery handshake deal that the former prosecutor had with Bill Cosby that's nowhere in writing, but yet that got him off and out of prison. After pretty substantial evidence, this guy was guilty of some pretty heinous stuff.
Yeah.
So again, this would happen for any mechanic or welder. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. If you're a roofer out there, maybe a guy who paints for a living out there grinding it out, trust me, this is exactly how you would be treated. They would go looking for stuff for this on your behalf, without question. 407-916-1041. I have a medical issue I want to take up with you guys.
Oh,
I'm
man.
I'm scaring the hell out of Deborah about this, but it has become a situation. A situation.
Flatulence?
It's not.
Is that why the Band-Aid's on your arm?
No. That's a gym thing. I beat myself up for no reason. I actually stuck a one of those dental picks, those things, the disposable ones.
The ones that are supposed to be soft and
I jammed one of those a quarter inch into my hand yesterday just by reaching over into my front seat of my car.
Just so you could feel?
I just do this.
so you could feel.
I
just karma at play.
I stumble around life and beat myself up. This morning I was picking at my fingernails, which I do occasionally, and I bent one back. I heard Sean Watson talking about picking fingernails, and I create that little hook thing, which I love to play with. What? And then I got a scratch on my head, and when I drug it across there, that fingernail opened up my forehead, so that when I went to shave today, I actually had blood on my forehead where I'd cut myself open with a fingernail. So I am a feeble paper man. That's what I am, basically. A transparent, feeble man with onion skin paper. Or onion paper skin.
Origami with a gun.
Either one of those. So here's what my issue is. And I think, Ross, you may have a little information for me. So I wear an appliance at night when I sleep so that I don't snore. We've talked about this before. Some people choose CPAPs. I've chosen not to use a CPAP. And basically what this does is it locks your bottom jaw in so it can't fall back onto your soft palate, creating a snoring process and, possibly an apnea situation. It keeps your airway open. It is an absolute godsend. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. It is just simply a miracle device.
You've said before, it's the first thing that goes in the suitcase whenever you guys travel.
I protect that like if I'm carrying a family heirloom. When I pack tonight, is your mouthpiece in the suitcase. When we leave, is your mouthpiece in the suitcase. It is ultimately needed in my marriage.
It sounds like it will be a family heirloom.
Right. This may be a family heirloom.
As someone who sleeps with earplugs, they should be.
Well, this thing is literally molded just like it's professional. It looks like dentures. When you see them, they look like dentures, but there's no teeth in them. It just has a guard that blocks your jaw from falling back. It just locks your jaw into place.
So it looks like you're ready to go into the octagon.
A little bit like that. Yeah,
nice.
A little bit like. Looks like a mouth guard a little bit. So here's my issue. I noticed recently, after I got this crown fixed in my mouth, which I thought was the problem. I just got it back fixed yesterday. I got the best dentist in the world, the greatest. He's the greatest. And got it set up perfect, and now my mouth is perfect. I slept last night. I think I have TMJ.
Oh.
I think I'm dealing with TMJ. And I have to tell you, it's a pain in the ass.
Pain in the mouth.
It's a pain in the mouth / ass. Because
you have a weird TMJ then.
My left, that's how strong it is, Jack. TMJ so bad it's hurting my ass. But where your jaw
Pit bulls don't bite that hard.
Where your jaw joins to your skull, that area right there, it's a mandible. You can feel it moving back and forth. I can't take a full bite down because it feels like that is broken in some way, shape, or form. So where you can, if I told you put your back teeth together. You put your back teeth together. Mm-hmm. I cannot. I can only do it on one side of my face because this other side, which is my left side, has a pain in it that is indescribable. Now, it's not debilitating like a toothache, but if I were to try, if you were to give me something to chew on, bite down on hard, it would hurt. It would be a complete pain in the ass.
Isn't this where you had your crown?
It is where I had my crown, but it's not part of that because the TMJ has. It's not where your tooth; it's your jaw. So I read up on it a little bit today, and it says it's where that becomes inflamed. But I've not heard anybody. I don't know if it just goes away. I don't know what you do with it. I mean, there's no way you can put a cast on it. There's no injection or anything.
Well, typically it's a mouth guard you wear at night that I'm serious that absorbs that whether it's clenching or grinding.
I had one for years, and I clenched so hard I broke it. So then I tried to file the edges, thinking that, it feels, smooth to my finger.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and pop this bad boy back in my mouth, and it turns out.
Lunch.
Yeah, well, it turns out what feels smooth to your finger, it was absolutely shredding the inside of my tongue. Ooh. So once you get one of those guards, when they tell you to save your molds.
Yeah.
Of your teeth, they're not kidding because it's very expensive but worth it because it's got to try and keep those back teeth from touching so that you can't exert that. Well, they say you can exert a lot more pressure when you're asleep than when you're awake.
Because you're not cognizant of the pressure you're putting down, right?
Exactly, because I never understood that. Right, yeah. But I felt like I used to have to pull my jaw apart in the morning. That's how hard I was clenching my teeth.
It's the other way around for me. In the morning, I actually have to work my jaw so that I can put my mouth together. In the mornings, I can't. If you ask me, if I woke up and you even gave me a donut and said eat that, I would not be able to do it. I would have to eat it with my front teeth and then like a penguin fillet or a pelican eat it down down my throat.
Dan, this is the first time I wish this was a morning show.
That's who eats donuts like beavers?
Yeah,
man?
no. I'm not talking. I'm just a joke. But what I'm saying is, it wouldn't really even matter what the consistency is. I had a leftover piece of steak for lunch today. That's what I had, and trying to eat that was a complete nightmare because you have to chew it. And I was just like, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah.
So my jaw feels like it's been oring for a month.
Yeah, but you have another situation because you also have a different dental device you wear at night for your snoring.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's what we thought. That's what I thought. Because somebody asked me, why didn't you ask your dentist about TMJ? Well, I went to my dentist because I thought the mouth guard was causing this pain in my jaw, which made perfect sense. The tooth wasn't fitted perfectly. After a day, I was like, okay, it needs to be fashioned a little bit more, which we knew was coming. So I thought just sleeping with that thing over the days after my crown was fixed, that's what was causing it. The uneven thing caused a difference in the pressure in my jaw, and that was the problem. So I got it fixed, and last night was the first night I used it after it being fixed. It fit perfectly. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be great. Woke up this morning, I was like, God almighty, it's the same exact thing.
Listen, as someone who suffered from TMJ and still does, and the migraines it caused, that's the one thing with TMJ. It's not just the jaw pain. It's when it ends up resulting in a really fun migraine.
Did any of this occur before you lost your crown?
I can't. No, nothing like this.
It's all been since that.
So when you get this mouth guard, they tell you right up front that it could cause some pain for a few days like that until your jaw gets used to the new positions. But nothing's changed. It's the same one I've been using for 15 years.
The internet, the first thing that they say, step 1, eat soft foods.
Donuts.
So I guess we're there, Jim.
407. Oh,
how about vegetables?
Ross,
I'm just saying.
when you say there, I know what you're saying, and I'm not in the mood for it. I'm about to go on vacation. I want to leave in a good mood. I do not need you today.
Well,
I mean, I need you, but I don't need you. You feel me?
I'll toss some Jolly Ranchers your way.
Don't even think about it.
Okay, where do you want me?
I want to work. You know it.
Yeah.
All right, what's coming up for news, Deb?
Experts debunk a theory in the South Florida condo collapse. A couple of tropical disturbances lurk in the Atlantic. Still only June, by the way. Still only June. And a woman has been arrested for that Tour de France crash.
Wow, they found her.
Yeah, they did. We'll cover that more coming up during Woke News.
Oh,
yeah.
Follow the signs, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back with more of the Jim Colbert Show and Deb's News right after this.
So clever.
We're still your at-work station, even if your work happens to be on the kitchen table. Bed. Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the rest, buy from the best, goldsmithjewelry.com.
We're seeing slowdowns now eastbound on I-4 between Conroy Road and OBT, and also between Princeton Street and Lee Road. If you're heading westbound, expect a slow go between Parr Street and Colonial Drive, and also between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. Officials still working to clear a crash south on the Turnpike at the exit ramp, taking up the left lane to State Road 50. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Phantom Fireworks.
Just a reminder for this and every 4th of July that the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air are brought to backyards across America by Phantom Fireworks. Visit fireworks.com for specials, coupons, and a location near you.
Love the solar panels on my roof. My power bill came in. Man, I'm excited when I get that email from Duke Energy. I click on it, and it was $52.41 for my house. That's a monthly power bill for my house, and credit goes to the solar panels on my roof, producing clean, renewable energy, cutting my power bills way down. How many power bills are you going to pay before you go to SolarSource.com? Solar Source is the company that can alleviate some of the pressure from your power bills by putting solar panels on your roof, where you can create your own clean, renewable power on your home. A sunny day, you're making power. And feel confident with Solar Source because they're the oldest and most experienced solar provider in Florida. They've been doing it since 1984. You get an industry-leading 25-year warranty from a company with a history to back it up. This is your chance to reduce the second highest monthly bill associated with home ownership, the power bill, by owning your power instead of renting it. Get a free savings estimate today at SolarSource.com. When you talk to them, tell them Jack from Rural Radio sent you. It goes, again, the website is SolarSource.com for that free savings estimate, because when it comes to power, trust the source. Solar Source.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Tickets are on sale now for our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th in Las Vegas. Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Florida Georgia Line, Journey, Khalid, Lil Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more on the T-Mobile Arena nighttime stage. Get tickets now through AXS.com. That's AXS.com.
Hi, my name's Charles. On my way to work, I was struck by a tractor trailer. I called attorney Glenn Klausman for help. He got me to really good doctors. I don't think it's right to be bragging on a billboard or TV about getting millions of dollars for getting hurt. However, I will say Glenn Klausman got me a great settlement quicker than I thought possible. I'm very happy with the results, and that's why I'm doing this. Call Glenn Klausman at 407-917-1718. His website is klausmanlaw.com. Car crash, call Klausman.
Office, Winter Park.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their